Welcome back to Smoky Ribs. Today I'm firing up the grill dome. I got a really good recipe lined out for today. I hope you enjoy it. It's going to be a pecan crusted apple Strawbanero ghost pepper pork loin. It's going to be good. All right, let's get busy. Alright, I got a good looking pork loin here. I just rinsed it and blotted it dry with some paper towels. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to start laying this thing out. I'm just going to kind of roll it out to where we can roll this thing back up jelly roll style. Alright, what I got here is 8 ounces of cream cheese. And into that, I'm going to be putting this frog bone. This is the apple Strawbanero ghost pepper preserves. This stuff is amazing. Really good. And the ratio you want to do this is 2 tablespoons for every ounce. So I got 8 ounces. I'll put in 16 ounces of the frog bone jam here. Alright, here is the last tablespoon. That's 16 tablespoons. And it pretty much took that entire jar, but luckily I do have another jar because later on in the cook I'm going to be using this as a glaze also for the outside of this. Alright, now all you want to do is just simply mix this really good in this cream cheese. We're going to make a nice smooth mixture out of it. Okay, so I got my frog bone jam all mixed in with the cream cheese. It should look something like this. Alright, all I'm going to do at this point is just simply layer it across this pork loin. Alright, I'm not going to bring it out to the edge all the way because I don't want it pushing out, which it still might anyway a little. By the way, I took a taste of this mixed with that cream cheese. Ooh, man, you talk about good. That'd be good to spread on toast or waffle or anything. Excellent stuff. Alright, all we're going to do is just roll this up jelly roll style. Let me see if I can get it started here. Oh yeah, here we go. Just about like that. We're going to go fat cap back up. Alright, so with all that in there, this is really loose and it's hard to handle. So what you want to do is you want to tie it up with some butcher's twine. I'm going to simply start right here on the end. We're going to make this a slip knot. And we're going to start right there. Alright, I transferred this to another cutting board. That way I can clean the other one. And what I'm getting ready to do is I've got the frog bone all-purpose seasoning. This is a Cajun seasoning and it's going to really add a lot of good Cajun flavor to go along with this jam that's inside. I tell you what, sweet with savory is just awesome, especially on pork, as many of you know. I'm just going to coat this top, bottom, and sides. Alright, all I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to place this on some foil. Let me rinse my hands off real quick. Okay, I'm just going to, like I said, I'm going to cover this up. We're going to let it hang out in the refrigerator until I get the grill dome up to temp, and I'll meet you outside. Alright, we got the lump charcoal inside the grill dome here, and I've got just an average load, not real heavy, because this isn't going to take that long. And I'm really not wanting a lot of smoke on this. I've got 2 small pieces of apple wood. I mean small. I'm just going to throw a few pieces of that in there. I don't want a heavy smoke with the sweet of the jam and the cream cheese, because I just want a light kiss of smoke, more or less, on that. So from here, I'm going to put my rack for my deflector plate. We're going to put the deflector plate in position. Alright, I'm going to put my grate on here. I'm going to heat this grate up, and then I'm going to brush it and clean it good. But meantime, I'm going to go ahead and close this down. And we're going to get it up around 275. That's what I'm looking for to cook at, about 275 on this cook. Alright, I got the grill dome up to temp. I'm going to go ahead and lay this pork loin right here on the center. We're going to take this bacon, and we're just going to lay over the top of it. And like I said, all this is doing, just giving it a little bit more fat to cook in, because this is such a lean cut of meat. We want to ensure that it's nice and juicy and tender. I'm going to be inserting my iGrill probes into this to monitor internal temperature. The last thing you want to do to pork is overcook it. It'll dry out in a hurry. And so we're shooting for around 150 internal temp. And at that time, I'm going to pull it and wrap it up and let the temperature come up naturally up to around 155, 160. I don't know how many of you realize it, but pork has actually been deemed safe to eat at 145 degrees now. That they've changed that. I would prefer to go just a little bit above that, but like I said, about 155 to 160 works for me, as long as it ain't dried out. That's the big thing. All right, we're going to close her up and let her rip. Alright, I've been going here, I don't know how long, I'm not keeping up with that. I'm mainly watching temperatures. Right now I'm between 115 and 120 Fahrenheit internal temp. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and remove this probe, and I'm also going to remove this bacon. I don't know if you've seen the juice when I pull that probe out, but it has got a ton of juice inside of this. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to look at that. Look at all the juices poured out of there. Oh my goodness. Alright, let's flip it over. Just like that. Alright. I'm going to put the probe back into this. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and close the lid on this, and what I'll be doing from this point is monitoring the temperature very closely at about 125 to 130 degrees. I'm going to go ahead and put a glaze on top and do my pecan crusting, and we're going to shoot for an internal temperature about 145 to 150 when I pull it off, and we're going to make a tent over it to let it rest for a little bit after that. We'll be back. Alright, I'm sitting around 135 136 degrees, and I think that's going to be a perfect temperature. It's actually going to work out because I'm getting ready to put this Strawbanero ghost pepper preserves. What I've done is I thinned it down a little bit with just about a tablespoon of water. I would say that's somewhere between a third and a half cup that I've got here. I thinned it out and heated it up to make more of a glaze out of it. Let me just pour some on there and work it in. There we go. Speed things up here. I've got my bottom vent turned off on this grill dome so I don't get too high in temperature while I got the top lid wide open. That'll pretty much just stall it out where it's sitting. I won't be but just a minute, then I can reopen it to where I had it. Alright, now what I'm going to do at this point is I've got crushed pecans here, and we're just going to simply coat that on top of the jam, the preserves, to create a pecan crusted pork loin. Is this looking insane or what, people? Now this ain't gonna take long. That's the reason I decided to go on up to about 136 degrees, 137, something like that internal temp, because at 145 I'm taking this off and I'm going to foil it, because it will go from 145 to 150 all on its own just by resting in a tent of foil. And that would give these pecans a little bit of time to crust up. I'm hoping it's going to be around 10 minutes. And also, as you already know, the sugars in this jam is not going to take a lot of heat before it starts burning. So I'm thinking 10 minutes should be just about right. Keep the flavor of the jam. Toast up these and I'll be able to pull it off, and I'll bring you back when I get to that point. Alright, I'm reading 145 degrees on my iGrill thermometer over here with this probe. Let's check for a little bit more accuracy with this thermopen. Well, I tell you what, that's pretty doggone close. That's 146 there, which is dead center. 147, full of juice, still trying to come out. Oh, that's 152. Alright, so what I'm going to do at this point is I am getting ready to remove this probe, and I'm going to remove this pork loin. Now this is not a pork tenderloin, this is a pork loin. There is a difference. This is what you would refer to as the back strap on a deer and any other animal, whereas the tenderloin is that those little muscles, much smaller than this, that run on the inside of the animal. We'll get into that discussion at some other time. Alright, so what I want to do without messing up my topping here is I want to just create a tent. I don't want to wrap it real tight. Now what this roast is going to do, sitting here in this foil for about the next 20-30 minutes or so, is simply going to increase in temperature probably to around 155. I'll check it and see what we end up with, but it's actually safe to eat as is, guaranteed to be juicy. And so like I said, we're going to let it rest and I'll be back. Alright, I've been resting roughly 20-25 minutes, somewhere in there. It's cooled off somewhat. You want everything to set up good before you cut it, but yet you still want it warm. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a very sharp knife and we're going to cut some off of here and see how we did. Oh, by the way, I removed all the butcher's twine from this. Oh yeah, man, this just smells so incredible. My wife just walked in here. She says, man, that smells good. All right, here we go. We're going to take a bite. Oh, wow. That is so good. Juicy, tender, perfect. Great recipe, people. Give it a try. The grill dome really rocked this recipe, as I knew it would. That frog bone, that jam, that Strawbanero ghost pepper jam rocks. Mixed with the cream cheese, this all shining through. Really, really good. All right, until next time, smoke your ribs.